Oh, all right. Good evening, all. Looks a little grainy. Yeah, hopefully you can see me. So, where's all the snow? Supposed to have a lot of snow. We didn't get a lot of snow. I think we got about 1.5 inches here. Up north, Maddie and those guys, I think they got about a foot or so, maybe more, maybe less, but not a lot here. Hey, Jess, what's going on? You won't get deleted on my channel, Jess. No, just kidding. I don't even know how that happens, to be honest with you. I don't see anything on here that says you could delete somebody, so I don't know. But you're safe here anyway. Snow blowers. People are bringing me snow blowers because the first snow, they don't take care of their equipment, and all of a sudden they break or they don't work. So somebody brought me a Murray, which is a Craftsman with a Murray, and he blew the gear inside. There you go. No, but James, I'm wondering, banning, though, I'm thinking. The word banning, like you can't do or see anything, the stuff that happened. Anyway, unboxing. It's a Murray thrower. Briggs & Stratton owns Murray now, so all the part numbers end in MA for Murray and all that. So this gear, wow, I thought it'd be bigger. Little teeny bag. The brass gear inside the auger gearbox is blown. And the replacement that Murray/Briggs put out, it's a cast iron gear. So now, if you buy the factory cast iron gear instead of the bronze worm gear, okay, this is an aftermarket bronze worm gear for the Murray. You can get aftermarket ones anywhere from $15 to $30. The factory one's about $60, but the factory one, the one that supersedes them now, is cast iron. So what's going to happen is, what's going to fail first? Both are going to fail. Now your worm and your shaft are going to fail, and your gear. So just a tip to you guys, if you ever have the gearboxes in the Craftsman throwers, whether they be the MTDs or the Murrays, the brass, bronze, whatever you call it, bronze gears are still available. Get the bronze gear. Don't go for the cast iron because you'll rip up your worm shaft gear in the meantime. This is the sacrificial part. It's the bronze gear. So I also bought a gearbox gasket. Where is it? The gasket for the gearbox, because I don't know if that's going to leak or not. I don't know if you can see that. The gasket for the gearbox. That was like $5-6. And a new set of shear pins. See, the Murray shear pins, if you notice on a lot of the Murray and some of the Toros, they have a bushing, if you can see the bushing, on the front of the auger shaft, or the rakes, if you want to call it rakes. They have, hey, Matt, they have a bigger hole on one side of the auger rake than the other. And that washer is supposed to go in there, okay? And that washer is what helps shear the bolt and keep it in the right position. So if you ever see the shear pin kits at like Lowe's or whatever, and you see the ones with the extra washers, the thick washers, that's in there for a reason, because on the auger rakes, they have a big hole on one side, little hole on the other. You put the bolt through the little hole, you put the washer against the big hole. That's how it works. So a lot of people didn't know that, and I thought I'd share. But this gear seems awfully small. I haven't taken the gearbox apart yet, but it seems like an awfully small gear. Anyway, like I said, go with the aftermarket gear. Don't do the factory gear. It's 3 times the price, and it's made out of cast iron now or powdered metal, and it'll shear your gear shaft and your worm, and not worth it. These $20. What the heck? Keep one in stock. Anyhow, what do you got working, Matt? You got anything going on in the 350 world or what? James, how you doing, buddy? Glad to hear you're out of the hospital. Thumbs up to you. Very good, my friend. But, yeah, I didn't know if you were going on, Maddie, so I figured let me just come out for a few seconds to talk about snow blowers. Everybody, I also bought the seal for the gearbox. It was like $6. A lot of throwers this week. We didn't get snow. We got 2 inches, Matt. We got nothing. James, we got 2 inches. It was nothing. Willie, everybody, Jesse. Didn't get much snow. Maddie got enough where you could play in it. Mine, by the afternoon yesterday, it was literally sunny out. The roads were clear and barely anything on the grass. So not going on. All right, that's no big deal. But anyway, this weekend, I'm on call for work. So anything happens in the plant, I'm responsible. So it's probably going to be a not too busy internet weekend, but we'll see. But I got a bunch of time off coming up, and I just looked. I think I got 4 weeks vacation coming up or something. Can't take it all, of course, but I'll drag it up to next year, my 30th anniversary. The wife and I hopefully go to Italy or something, do something good. Anyhow, what else is going on? Power equipment. I got that. What else? You find after a storm, a lot of snow blowers on Craigslist and stuff like that. You can get some real good deals. The Toro, the little single stage Toros with the flappers on them, brand new. They're $600-800. You can get it for $150-200 the day after a storm because people figure, oh, I'm done. So it's, look in the tag sales and stuff. And you go on a thing like, hey, Boneyard, go on a channel like Musty One. I recommend his channel. Great channel, guy up in New Hampshire. He finds the stuff on the side of the road. He just did a Toro 1132 with the power shift. I mean, those things brand new were $2,000. And the thing started on the first turn for him with old fuel in it. So who would have known? But anyway, I never say no to old equipment if I could fix it. What else we got going on? It says Five's here. Who's here? We got James, Willie, Jesse, Matt, and Boneyard. Well, I guess that's all of you. Boneyard, what's going on with you, buddy? I see some of your videos coming out. My buddy Ralph up in, I think he's New Milford up there with his Graveleys. Thumbs up to Ralph. He's got a lot of good vids coming out with the snow. But like I said, we got 2 inches, 1.5 inches down here. By the time I got home from work, there was nothing there. I'm mad because I like to play in the snow. In fact, I'll save up vacation time to take snow days so I can play in the snow. I love playing in the snow, whether it be one of my plows or a thrower or something. I just love playing in the snow. Anywho, went to the diner tonight, breakfast. So I like breakfast for dinner. That's always good. Briggs Flowjets. Yeah, I tell you, Willie, if you saw Musty's video he had about that, it's the old Flowjet. Yeah, those things, they either work or they don't. I had one the other day on a leaf blower, leak like a sieve. It was just the needle was stuck. No big deal. No biggie. But I saw a guy, the heck was it? He took a steel, I think it was a weed stick or something. No, not a weed stick. He took something 2-stroke that had a big carburetor, like a float carb, and put a cube carburetor on it. So that was interesting. I've seen that before where people like dual quads, they'll run dual cube carburetors in place of a big float carburetor just to make it look cool, like dual quads. That's pretty cool. James, your name's Blue. Oh, he's a moderator, Jess. So anyone dark blue or blue like that with a wrench, that means if they see anything going on that they don't approve of and think it would be bad for my channel, they will delete it. Or they will put someone in timeout, which means you could watch for 5 minutes, but you cannot post. So it's called a moderator, and that's what James is on my channel. I think Matt, I thought Maddie was, maybe not. I know definitely James is. So I'm a moderator with James on Maddie's channel, so we like to play around, and we all have a good time. It's all in good fun. But sometimes, like the other day, a guy was on and we start talking about work and things like that, and I really didn't want to mention work names and things like that. So we would hit delete or whatever. No big deal. And like I said, we play around. I mean, our buddy Mega, thumbs up to Mega up in New Zealand there, and we always have fun with him. He comes on, and Josh is with us, and sometimes we'll give a little time out. It's fun. It's a good time. Yeah, if you're a moderator, you can go into your post in the right and hit the 3 dots. You can either edit your post or delete your post or cancel your post. But a moderator, we have options as a moderator for timeouts, actually deleting from the whole thing, or there's different things we can do as a moderator. So, and now with COPA or COPPA, whatever you're going to call it, and all that stuff coming out, it's going to get even worse because creators, me included, we get nervous now because every time you go on a live stream like this, you have to say if it's safe for kids, who can watch it, is there any age restrictions? It's not just go on there and bang, you're done. So, hopefully, the channel, we talk about small engines, we talk about fixing stuff, we talk about chainsaws, we talk about our personalities, people we know, things we do. And even with Maddie being a dentist, sometimes we talk about teeth, but it's safe for kids. We don't do anything on here that would affect kids. But if we see a comment that if you think it might be detrimental to a child watching it, we'll delete it because we don't want to get in trouble. So basically, that's why the moderators are there. They're there to protect me and protect the channel and protect the YouTube community. You know, a lot of kids watch YouTube, and you know, you don't want anything that's on there that's offensive. And sometimes people say things that, you know, to me and you, no big deal, but to a child may take it the wrong way. So it's a slippery slope, but we'll have to deal with it. That's all it is. So he deleted a message. Yeah, that's one thing you could do. So if Maddie posts something like "you suck," boom, he can go in there and delete it. You know, whatever. That's what the moderators do. Willie, what do we got? I can share an informative set list and comments of this video later about Copa. I'm telling you, I've watched a few of them, Willie, and some of them scare the hell out of me, and some of them make it sound like it's nothing at all. So, but what was weird was I have a guy that I'm subscribed to called Old Sneelock's Workshop. I've been subscribed to him for a while. Super, super nice guy. And he was like deleting his videos, doing all kinds of stuff, and it freaked me out. You know, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Do I have to start deleting my videos? Did someone say something wrong? I'm going to get fined? Because the fines are like 40 grand. It's ridiculous. So it really, how do I do that, Matt? Let me see. Wait a minute. Click. All right, Matt, you have the power now. Have fun. Anyway, so I think you do. Click it again, Maddie. I hit moderator. Did it not work? Or did you laugh too soon? Try it again, Matt. Post something. See if it comes out with a wrench. I thought I just moderated you. Ah, there you go. Have fun. See, now Maddie's got the power. Now he's like that Grace or whatever that He-Man, whatever that guy is. I really want to get to some of my chainsaws now that the winter's here. I mean, most of my customers are done for the year for the most part. Most of them were summer customers, fall customers, leave, stuff like that. Yeah, people will call me. I put a little bit of ad on Craigslist. There's dads in my town. It's called Trumbull Dads or something where I live. And, you know, I got a couple customers out of that, but I don't really advertise. I've got over 500 customers. I may see one or two of them, you know, all the time. And the rest of them I'll see every few years or whatever. But you know what? It's coffee money. It's lunch money. It's money if the kids need something. It's not, I don't live off of it. It's just having fun. But it's having fun that, you know, once in a while you make a few bucks. So no big deal. Yeah. Matthew's blue. Matthew and James. So Matthew and James have the power to destroy. But anyway, Jesse, what are you working on? Anything good? But anyway, let's see. Oh, Christmas lights. I don't know if you guys are into it, but I know in our town, I'm going to start trying to take my Chrome Top one of these nights. We've got not a competition, but there's 5 or 6 guys in town that go nuts like you see it on TV. And I'd love to show you guys some of these Christmas lights. These guys actually have to have the Illuminate or UI, which is the Illuminate company, the power company, come out, put an alternate pole up with an extra transformer just for their Christmas lights. That's how bad they get. So I'd love to show you some of that stuff. It's crazy, you know. But on our street, we have a lot of new people, and some of them have some lights up. Most of them are New York transplants, but a lot of them have some lights up. What does Jesse have now, Maddie? What did he buy? What's Jesse got? Did he buy like a 268 or something? Or did he buy a 350? I know James was saying, was it the 268 or something? He's got 300 tanks out of it. That's crazy. Just make sure you check the bolts, James. I know Maddie's saying always check the bolts after a few tanks just to make sure you're not loosening up. But yeah, 300 tanks. Wow, I don't think I'd go 300 tanks in my lifetime. But it's funny. I have, 14, 15 saws, and I don't burn wood really. I don't know. It's a disease, I guess. Maddie turned me onto this crap a year ago, and now it's like I have to have saws, you know. But it's fun. Arctic Cat 5. Oh, I love working on snow machines. The problem is, like I said, around here, we don't get the snow, and it doesn't stay long enough to use a snow machine. And the cops want to give you a ticket anyway if they see you on the road. But it's fun out running them, I guess, you know. Brother Blake covered Copa in 2 videos. Not kids-friendly. Oh, yeah, a lot of it's about the monetize, too. I forgot about that. Yeah, a lot of people were getting demonetized. I only have 144, so I don't get monetized. People don't watch my stuff. You know, I have to do more content. My daughter's got a, GoPro that I'm going to start using, but I'm still too cheap to buy a regular laptop or something to do my video editing on. So I'm using the Chromebook, and I'm just doing Maddie turned me onto these live streams, and I love it. You know, you talk about problems, you try and fix stuff, and I love it. The live streams are great, you know. 85. Yeah, 85 is not much. It'll start probably, but just barely. 85 is not a lot. Not five. So that's a twin or a triple, or what is that? Probably a twin, right? 94. Sounds like a decent machine. I remember using Skidoos years and years ago, back in the late 60s, early 70s, with the fiberglass cowls on the front that always chipped up when you hit a tree or something. Those were fun. And even John Deere had snowmobiles. I remember those too. They used to sell them at the local dealer. I don't know what brand they were, but it was pretty cool. You know? Let's see. I've got a generator I think I told you guys about a couple weeks ago where the customer did something. The head, something's bad. It was spitting out the exhaust and the intake at the same time. So it's got to be either a head gasket or a valve seat that recessed or a blown valve or something. So I got to fix that. So we'll see. Twin. Yep. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Snow machines are cool, especially with the centrifugal clutches and all that stuff. They're easy to work on and a lot of fun. You just got to watch. There was a kid around here years ago, and God bless him, he's dead now, but decapitated, barbed wire, didn't know it. Going through a cow pasture or horse field or whatever it was, did not know it. Boom, took his head right off. Like, ooh, I heard about it. It was actually a friend of a friend's relative, and when we read the obit, it was like, oh my God. So snowmobiling is dangerous, and unless you do it on an approved trail or something where it's known, because you get a lot of farmers and things. They got barbed wire to keep their animals in, and if you don't know, do 60 miles an hour on a sled, hit barbed wire, don't stand a chance. So I don't know. I tried it one time. It just seemed like it took forever to upload from the phone. I'm hearing if you have a PC, the uploading is faster. I don't know why that would be. So we'll see. Very clean. Guy said it wouldn't start. Found one broken wire. Well, that's like Musty. Musty will find something, go to his shop, and in 5 minutes it's running. So Yep. Copa, also kids under 13 won't find general lawrence you do kind of left mill. Yeah, I mean, Willie, I think as long as you hit not kid friendly for now, it's the safest thing to do, and that's what I did. But in the very beginning, when I saw that thing saying, "Oh, is it safe for kids?" I said, "Sure, it's safe for kids. We're only talking about saws." Then I'm saying, "Wait a minute. Did someone say something in the comments that might be offensive to a parent of a child or something?" So I said, "You know what? I think I had 2 live streams where I hit kid friendly. I deleted them. I just said, I don't want to take the chance. If there was a comment made about something, who knows?" So because we were all nervous when the COPPA thing came out a few weeks ago, everyone was freaking out. So, but now that we know, we just put in that it's not kid friendly. Kids, hopefully won't visit it, and if they're in the kids YouTube, it won't let them visit it. So hopefully that'll be enough, Yeah, snowmobile. I tell you, James, there's a few guys around here that use the snowmobiles on the water. And I tell you, talented guys, boy, because all of a sudden you lose throttle, you're going under and that thing is gone. Yeah, you got to keep the thing on the track. Yeah, seeing them YouTube snowmobiles on water, it's the funnest thing to watch. Really cool. Big rooster tails and, doing wheelies on the tracks all over the water. That's pretty cool. But you got to keep that throttle up. You lose throttle, you're dead. The thing will just, drop like a lead fart, just go right down. So, anywho, I see Walt posted a bunch of videos, so that was pretty cool. I was watching some of the stuff he was doing. He was plowing, and I think he did a 390 the other day and doing some other stuff. So, Jesse, like anything, everything gets political, but you know what it was? There were a few guys that I used to visit. One guy was like a welder and then a hay farmer on the side, but he started talking about politics the minute he did that. And this guy was making thousands of dollars a month, but the minute he mixed politics in and his views, they demonetized him, and that was it. So to me, I'm doing this for the fun of it. I'm doing it for the chatting. Friends, Maddie and James and Jesse, all these guys, they're all, we're all YouTube friends, and it's just for the camaraderie. We just have some fun. I'm here. My wife and kids are out. I figured, hey, go on and talk to some of my friends. So no big deal. But I don't do it for the money. Like I said, if I get more content up, then I'll be able to put more content on. Hopefully, eventually, I'll be able to do bolt for bolts like Maddie did in all his videos. So those of you who Want to learn about chainsaw rebuilding, visit some of Matt's videos. He's got wonderful bolt for bolt videos that show you every single thing. Most of the guys like Walt and the other guys, they do great videos. I love them, but they're not bolt for bolt. So you can't really fast forward or go back and say, hey, where'd this go or where'd that go? Everything that Matty did in his bolt for bolt, everything is there. There's nothing missed. There's bolt sizes and torques and where they go. So great selection of videos from Matty. Dirt. I never saw dirt bikes on water. Who's buffering? I'm buffering, Matty. I'm showing almost all the bars are here. Huh. Anybody else? Because everything's showing up pretty good here. So, a water bike. What would that look like, James? That must have pretty fat tires then if it's for water, or paddles maybe for water. That would be pretty cool. You still buffering, Matt? Because I don't know. Everything on my end looks pretty good. The picture's a little grainy. I think it's because of the lighting. I've got a dimmable light, and it's not real bright right now, so maybe it's the lighting. Hey, does anyone ever use those? I bought one of these Roku sticks. I have my cable company's Charter, which is Spectrum, I guess, whatever. But by having one of these sticks or whatever, if you download their app, you can actually not have to have the box anymore. You could just use this remote control on any TV, plug this stick into the TV if it's a smart TV, and watch it. So I'm going to try that out. We want to put a TV above our mantle so the wife and kids can sit on the couch and watch TV. So we're going to try and hook that up later on, see if it works. Stand-up jet ski. Huh, interesting. No tires, ski on front and back. Huh, that's interesting. Love to see that. Oh, man. Anywho, what else is going on? Matty, whatever happened with the Volvo? Is that thing still at the other shop? You haven't really said much about it in a while. Oh, and also, how's your wife after all that with the car and everything? Is everything good with that? Hopefully everything's cool and you got a nice new car now. I remember when that happened. Some buffering. Huh. Crazy. Showing up good here. Everything looks good. I got 5 out of 6 bars on the Wi-Fi. So Volvo's still okay. But do you have it or is it still at the shop? You really haven't talked too much about it. But anyway. Oh, they fixed it, huh? 14K. Holy cow. I know I had a Monte Carlo Super Sport back in 86. 5 weeks to the day after buying it, a lady hit me from behind at 60 miles an hour and pushed me into a truck in front of me. And they said if it's 3/4 of the value of the car, they'll total it. Instead of being 3/4, 75%, it was 72.4%. And they rebuilt the car. The only thing left on the car that was original were the 2 doors and the roof. Everything else was new. It was never the same. So hopefully, wow. Yeah, hopefully that, has it been 2 months, Matt? Or it's going to be at the shop? Yeah, because has it been 2 months since that happened? Wow. Man, time flies. Holy cow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Volvo Civic. I'm trying to think. Isn't there a guy in Hartford? Someone told me about a Volvo shop one time. There's like Saab guys, there's Volvo guys that's all they do. Huh, interesting. But I still have my 2000 S10 with 100 and God knows how much miles on it. That's 19 and a half years old, still kicking. So, wow. Yeah, I was going to say a month. Yeah, but even so, it went fast. Holy cow, time flies. Unbelievable. Okay, Watertown. Okay, that's about a half hour from me up the road here, Route 8. That's not too bad. Right off of 84, actually. Not too bad. Probably an hour from you. Oh, boy. You were saying the other day, your kids, you're doing skating. Is there a local skating rink up there, Matt? Because around here, we have a place where the kids play hockey and they can skate over there, but nothing really outdoors. It's an indoor rink. Oh, I meant to tell you, Maddie, I was at my dentist Monday. I don't know if you saw I made a comment about ultrasonics and dental stuff. he knows that guy that Bruce Cha or Bruce Cho, something like that. I remember you talking. But what I didn't realize was he teaches at UConn's dental center in Farmington. I guess the dental school's in Farmington. I didn't know that. His name is Kravix, Bob Kravix. But I didn't know the dental school was in Farmington, UConn Dental School. So he teaches there every Friday. So free Craftsman 179. Yeah, small CC, but that's about 5 horse, 179. So 24 inch. Yeah, I mean, 5 horse. Usually 5 is around a 22 inch, but it'll probably do it. It's got the Chanda engine, I'm assuming, Jess. That Craftsman Chanda engine, which I think is either a Lonson or an LCT engine. It might be a Lonson. One thing you have to remember on those engines, though, Jess, when you check the oil, do not let the cap go all the way down. Let the cap rest on the lid, then check it. If you put it all the way down, you'll think you'll have more oil than you do, and they don't take a lot of oil. Those engines only take about 16, 18 ounces of oil. So it says 20 ounces in the manual, but they're really about 16, 18 ounces. So just make sure you keep oil in those things. The only thing about those engines too, Jess, I don't know if it's the metal they're using or what, but when you start them up, the exhaust got a funny smell to it. I don't know if it's the metal they're using when it gets hot or something, but they got a weird smell to them, Newington Arena. I've actually been there, I think, Matt. I think my daughter played hockey there one time when she was in high school. I think they had something going on in the Newington Arena. But I used to do a lot of work up in Newington. The Olympia Diner up there. Used to go there. Nice area. Really nice area. The Berlin Turnpike right up there to get straight up right into Newington. Nice area. Merritt Parkway turns into the Berlin Turnpike. Or actually, Merritt Parkway turns into the Wilbur Cross Parkway, and that turns into the Berlin Turnpike. So, anywho. What else is going on, guys? Anyone else have anything to chat about? Saw questions. Maddie's here. Small engine snowblower questions. I'm here. James, just to talk about stuff in general. Boneyard. Anybody got anything going on? I will talk about anything if it's related to anything mechanical. Let's see. Anybody getting good deals on Black Friday? I see HL had a few things going on. I bought some generic stuff, nothing crazy, but they had some good deals going on. It was pretty good. I'm surprised at the cost of some of these piston cylinder kits. They're like giving them away. Crazy. The one that you sent down, Maddie, to the guy in the Carolinas, is that the one? I forget the guy's name. Yeah, a lot of people I see going on lately with the aftermarket. Is it the Hustle Forma 372s or Hustle 372s, the clones? But didn't someone say they're coming out with a clone of the 394 or something like that? A bigger one? Won't start. Well, first thing, just drop the carburetor bowl and make sure there's no crap in it. That's the first thing I do. Drain all the fuel out of it. Make sure there's no crap in the bowl. Yeah, Rattler. That's it. Yeah, but answer me this, Maddie. You sent him the head. I'm assuming he knows what to do with it. But if I was to send him a head for a saw, he wouldn't need the whole saw to check things out. I know you were talking about, different things that he's going to do, blow up dial. Matt, you could blurt that out if it's not child safe, 395 clone. Yeah, something. 2 iPads. Oh, that's not bad. My iPad is so old. I tried to download an app yesterday. It said it doesn't support it. That's how old my iPad is. Oh, there you go. See, so anyone asking James or whoever, or Jesse or whoever about moderators, that's what they do. If they see something they don't like, bam, it's gone. So that's fine patterned. And I think, Maddie, you said it one time where there's a lot of things that are standard, like the degrees of duration, blowdown, things like that, whatever, that are standard on some of these heads, that if you give it to somebody like Rattler, he'll just do it. And basically you just do the squish and that's it. So I just be concerned because I know you machine the base. So versus someone who's machining the cylinder, the relationships and all that stuff, I would wonder how Rattler would know exactly what to do, not seeing the whole assembly, not seeing the piston, not seeing what it did and where it went. He can't delete you. No, yeah, it's funny. You guys can find it out, but I don't know. Can moderators delete moderators? I don't know. That's a good question, James. What power does Matt have over James and vice versa? I don't know. I have no clue. Interesting. Okay, is a regular chassis. Question: the John Sarid one that's similar. That's what, a 2072? I'm trying to think because a friend of mine has a John Sarid, and he says it's just like a 372. And I think he said it was a 2072 or a 2272. I don't know the part numbers for the John Sarids, but supposedly they're almost identical to the Huskies. So, and in fact, he's a friend of mine who's an actual John Sarid dealer up in Maine. He just became a dealer like 5 or 6 years ago. But John Sarid's got some cool stuff. I like John Sarid products. They're really good. You know, I was watching Iron Horse today. He was talking about, I guess he lives out in the sticks in, where is he? Pennsylvania, Ohio. And they lost power because of the storm. So he says they have food to last forever. They have wood and heat. So they just hang out until the power comes back on. So, and he loses his internet because he has it on satellite. So once the snow comes, he loses his internet. So interesting. Yeah, but what's the part numbers, Matty, though? Like, for example, a 2072, that's a 72cc John Sarid with a 20 series. I mean, I know, the Husky does it with the 1, 2, 3, and then 72, but I just don't know the numbering system. Toro time, which one, the 30-inch Boneyard, the 30-inch time cutter, or the time cutter zero turn? I'm trying to think. I've worked on time cutters, which are zero turns, and I've worked on time cutters, which are the dual blade push mowers. I've done both of those. The time cutter I worked on that was zero turn actually had the new Toro engine, V-twin. Nice little engine, not too bad. So the thing is weird, though. They claim you have to use the Toro oil filter or else they'll void the warranty. I mean, a Cowie filter goes right on, with the standard metric threads, but they want you to buy a Toro oil filter for those engines. I don't know. Time cutter is it's a Toro model. They make a time cutter zero turn, and they make a time cutter push mower with 2 blades on it that's around 30 inches wide. They call them time cutters. That's one of their model designations. But the last one I worked on was over the summer was a time cutter. It was a 52-inch zero turn time cutter. Yeah, the zero turn. They're nice. The only problem is with the engine, it's kind of crowded in there. I don't like the oil drain on it. It tends to want to get all over the place. So, it does have the hose on it, but it just it's not the greatest location for servicing. My buddy had one this summer where he, for some reason, no, the one that I did actually had the Toro engine. Toro actually has private labeled engines now. I don't know if they're Lonson, LCTs. It's one of those brands that makes them for them. He did a video. I'll check it out, Barnyard. But the one I worked on, was the Toro engine. It's a black V-twin. It's a nice engine. But they offer up their own stuff now. It's either LCT or Lonson or one of those, Chonda engines, one of the clones, Actually, the V-twin looks like a Kawasaki clone. And the only thing I didn't like about it, it was a little loud too. The muffler wasn't that great. So anyway, yeah, they're nice. Not real cheap, the time cutters, but Toro seems to be getting a little better with some of their stuff. I know their snow commercials now, they're touting themselves as like the best snow machine. I still think Ariens is the best snow machine, snow thrower. I like Ariens myself, but Toro, I think, does have the market on the single stage snow throwers with the paddles. I think Toro makes a hell of a product. Their newer ones actually have a scraper bar that's spring loaded. So if your terrain is up and down, the scraper bar will travel with it. So, and they're not cheap. I mean, a single stage Toro can run up to $1,000. I mean, they're not cheap, but their single stage Toros are good. Just keep one thing in mind when you buy any of these Chonda engines, whether it be Toro or whatever brand, look at the plug. If it's a Torch brand plug, get rid of it. Put in an NGK or a Champion or whatever, it goes in there, but get rid of those Torch plugs. I see it time and time again over the past few months. I'm working on something that's not running right. What's going on? What's going on? It's a torch plug. From pull-on chainsaws to Toro throwers to anything. I've seen them in generators. I've seen them in all kinds. People buy the cheap kits on Amazon to tune up two-strokes, okay? Whether it be a weed stick or anything, two-stroke. They buy the Amazon kits from China that give you 10 parts, 2 filters, primer bulbs, fuel line, blah, blah, blah. It's always a torch plug, the cheap torch plug. Throw it out. I don't think I've had one torch plug that I haven't had problems with, and they come stock on Toro equipment now on some of their single stage. And I can't believe my dealer here takes them right out. If Justin's watching, he's telling me they take them right out. Just throw the NGK in, BPR 6ES or something. Just throw it in. No big deal. Let me see. Simplicity. I love Willie. The best snow thrower I ever used was a Simplicity. It was like a 928, but the kind with the 1/4-inch steel frame that weighs a ton. The snowblower weighs about 650 pounds. Best snow thrower I ever had, built like a tank, but they're very expensive. Even used ones usually go for over $1,000. But yeah, the Simplicity commercial type with the welded steel frame out of 1/4-inch steel, yeah, it's a tank. You could actually put in gear and walk away, and that Simplicity will go through anything. I love those. Yeah, NGK, I love NGK, but I'll be honest with you. When I was younger, everyone used to bitch and moan about Champions. Oh, Champions no good. I'm telling you, for some of the chainsaws, like the CJ7Y, CJ6Y, they seem to work okay. I mean, I've used Bosch, I've used NGK, I've used all the different brands, and sometimes the cheap Champions, $1.98 at Walmart, they've gotten me out of trouble too. So I stock, the 6, the 7, the 8, the different ones that are in all the saws. But I'll be honest, bang for your buck, yeah, get an NGK. The NGK plugs are great. I do like them. BPMR 7As, yep, absolutely. Yep, BPMR 7As. But it's funny, man. There's so many different combinations of NGK plugs. The dealers usually stock 4 or 5 varieties, but what kills me is the newer plugs that have the 10 millimeter, the little tiny threads on them instead of the 14. The plugs. And here's a tip for you guys. If you ever have to buy the little plugs, the 10 millimeter plugs that come in like the 4-stroke trimmers and like the 4-mix type things, go to Advance Auto. Advance Auto sells those plugs for like $288. You go to a dealer, they're $13. I'm serious. Go to Advance Auto. If you ever want to buy those real small 10 millimeter spark plugs, the special ones, Advance Auto. They stock them. They know exactly what you're talking about. They use them a lot in Red Max and Husqvarna blowers. The backpacks, they're the mini plugs. Go to Advance Auto. Yeah, but I think in bulk, Maddie, you got to buy, I think, 24 or something to get a good price. A lot of people aren't going to, stock 20, 30 plugs if they're not in the business. You will, because you'll use them up. And I will too. But yeah, the best way to do it's in bulk. Usually they sell them in the styrofoam container. You just open it up and there's all the plugs. I think NGK, though, they're always boxed. But I know Champions, they sell 24 in a foam container. And you open it up, it's like a cooler, and there's all the plugs in there. So, but yeah, BPMR 7. I stock the 6, the 7, sometimes the 8s. In the Champions, I'll stock the RCJ, the 12 and 14 YCs, because those are used in a lot of things. There's probably 6 or 8 plugs that I normally stock, 30 to 40. Yeah. You buy 30 to 40. Yeah, spend $2 a piece. It's worth it. Definitely is worth it. You just got to watch about it. There was a guy selling bootleg NGK plugs. You do have to watch. I saw a video. A guy bought real cheap NGKs. They weren't NGKs. And there was if you look at the video for, I don't know if it's called fake NGK, he'll show you on the plug where you look to see if it's real. And one of the things that was different was the plating. They didn't use the gold iridized CAD plating on it. They used like a nickel based or some type of shiny, like silver looking plating instead of the gold looking iridized zinc. So there's different ways to tell. Yeah, Jess, where are you, Jess? Are you in Australia or New Zealand, or where are you? Yeah, throwing a few plugs. Well, I tell you, Maddie, you talk about throwing in a few things. Whenever I service a piece of equipment, I make sure I give them a quart of oil. I'll give them a plug, Not that they're going to use it. Usually when they bring it back to me to service, they'll give me back the oil and the plug and say, here, use these, but that's where you get the value added whenever you sell something, whatever you can give. Shear pins. People bring me their snow throwers. I tune them up. I see all the different holes in the handlebars. Where's the shear pins? They're gone. I fill them up. I tell them it's cheap. You get them for a few bucks a piece. They're cheap. It's cheap insurance. And I'll be honest, I've had guys call me at midnight. Kenny, my snow thrower's not working, blah, 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 blah. It's a shear pin. And I tell them, look, I put extra shear pins on your thing. And they thank me up and down because so many people will fix the equipment. They'll put new shear pins in, but won't put the extra ones in. And if there's no room for the shear pins, like a lot of Craftsmans and MTDs, Troy-Bilts and so forth, will have 2 to 4 holes molded into the handlebar cross rail. And you put the shear pins and the hitch pin for the shear pin in there, so you always have them. Some Craftsmen have a little toolbox on top of the belt cover where they store shear pins. I always make sure if a shear pin storage is not on a snowblower, I'll take a Ziploc bag and a zip tie, and I'll give them 2 or 4, depending on how many the unit uses, and I'll tie it right onto the handlebar somewhere where they know where it is. And then a lot of the newer shear pins don't even require tools. It's an actual pin that has a loop on it of wire going around. So you just stick the pin in, loop the wire around like you do on a trailer connector, and you don't need tools. The only thing, though, people have to realize when shear pins shear, there's usually a broken piece in the gearbox shaft, and they don't realize that, and they spin it around. And, it's not going in. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt if you don't have a drift punch to knock out those shear pins. So you really got to watch it. I tell people, it's easy to put shear pins in, but sometimes you really got to hit it hard to get the broken one out. A lot of times they'll fall out, but sometimes it's really hard, especially if they're rusted in and bent, Top handle saw. Matt, he should have a 200 laying around. No, Matt? I know you do them a lot for your logger buddies, your tree buddies. But 572, Maddie, have you ever done a 572? Isn't the 572 electronic? Or is that the 576? I know the 576 is. $30. Let me see, Willie. $30 on a set of plugs for an 8-horse Vanguard. What kind of plugs were they, Willie? Were they Briggs plugs that have that little Briggs logo on them? I know they sell those crazy money. So Bosch Boneyard, I like Bosch. For chainsaws, I do like the Bosch plugs, the W, whatever they are. The Bosch, I do like a Bosch plug. What else? Oh, North Dakota. Okay, I have a friend of mine. I'm trying to think of what town it is. Bismarck? Is that North or South Dakota? That might be South Dakota. Bismarck. One of the guys in Bismarck. It's probably South Dakota. 572 is super new. How new, though? Yeah, the 200Ts. Maddie, was it you that said stay away from the 201s? I'm trying to think. Somebody out there was saying the 201s are no good, or you can get them like half the price of the 200s. I'm just wondering why. Briss silver electrode, multi-fire, multiple rings, 3 gaps. Okay. That's for the Bosch, right, Willie? It's just so many people bring me equipment. They buy those E3s and all those gimmick plugs out there, and it's just like I just take them right off. In fact, I probably have a drawer with 30 or 40 chainsaw and small engine plugs from E3 and Power Start and all these gimmicky plugs. Best top handle Husky. Yeah, what is that? Is it a 572? Is that a top handle Husky? I haven't seen too many top handle Huskies. Most of the guys love the new Echo. What is it? The 8010 or whatever they call that one, or 30, whatever that one. The new Echo top handle. 540T. That's it. That's the T-handled Husky. The 540. That's right. Briscoe's manufacturer. All right, Willie, take care. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping. Appreciate it. But what is it about the 201s, Matty? Are they just built differently? I mean, what separates a 200 from a 201 aside from the number, of course? Is a 201 just a cheaper quality? Bismarck. Okay, Bismarck is older. Yeah, no, it's a friend of mine. Parents lived out there, passed away, gave him the house. I don't think he lives there now, but the house is still there. Plaza. So you must have a lot of snow on the ground, right, Jess? I mean, they usually have a lot of snow, for most of the season out there. Jesse, was North Dakota where they had all the fracking stuff going on and then it all went belly up when the price of oil and gas came down? I'm trying to think. There was a lot of fracking out that way. I know, in fact, my friend went out there because he was going to get a job as a manager of a place that did fracking. Interesting. Definitely God's country out there. You can spit and hit can. Oh, that's good. 201 is newer, looks similar, but the 201's better to use serves and get price. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I always see people on there offering 201s almost dirt cheap, and I was just wondering because they don't seem to sell that great. They're on for a while, like on eBay and stuff. So, Maddie, no more nut and bolt part buys. No more care packages with bags of bolts and parts. I like that when you had those a few weeks ago. That was interesting. Boneyard, thanks for stopping, buddy. I look forward to looking at your videos. You got some great videos out there. Take care of yourself. After I saw your nut and bolt video, Maddie, where you bought the bolts in bulk or whatever it was, I was looking downstairs and I literally have a 5-gallon bucket from my buddy Myron. I've mentioned him before. He's approaching 90 and he's one of my best friends, and he taught me a lot about small engines. He gave me a 5-gallon bucket of hardware from 30 or 40 years of working on small engines. And then he gave me a couple of big Skippy peanut butter jars full of nuts and bolts and screws from chainsaws. I haven't gone through them yet, but I literally have 100 pounds of hardware from 4-strokes and 2-strokes from the last 40 years from my buddy Myron. So I have to go through those. And I'm excited because every time I have a piece of equipment that's missing a strange piece of hardware, like a shoulder screw or something crazy on a shroud or something, it's in one of these bins or buckets that he gave me. So I took the 5-gallon bucket, dumped it into big pickle jars. The 2-gallon, whatever, the big pickle jar. So I have like 3 or 4 of those. And I look through and I go, there's something. And I can always find a bolt, a screw, a nut, or whatever from something that Myron had worked on years ago that I could use. So it's like I never have to go to the hardware store for these screwy fittings. And the manufacturers like Briggs, Kohler, Cowie, and Honda charge a mint for special screws. Maddie, you know it from Husky. I mean, people spend $2 to $4 each for a screw. It's crazy, But where are you going to get nowadays metric special pitch hardware, especially the screws that go into the plastics, But interesting, definitely interesting. I'm still freaking out about this gear. It's tiny. I mean, it's literally about 2 inches in diameter, and this is all it is to drive a 29-inch auger on a snow thrower. This little teeny worm gear. But you never know. I could take the gearbox apart and it's not the right one, but it looks like the right one. So we'll see. Vince, good evening. How you doing? I probably have a total hardware for my grandfather, great grandfather. Yeah, I tell you, unfortunately, my father passed away 15 years ago. He was not mechanical. My father, his father was a steel worker here. Stanley Works in New Britain, Connecticut, had their foundry and their steel works in Bridgeport, Connecticut. My grandfather worked there as a steel worker. They got sold out to Carpenter Steel. So Carpenter Steel used it to make steel in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and up until around 2000, I think 6 or 7 when they shut it down. But neither of them were into anything mechanical. My great-grandparents, though, and they're were all, I'm being told, they were like watchmakers and things like that over in Germany. So thankfully, that's where I get my my technical expertise. And I think my grandfather on my mother's side worked for Rocketdyne or one of those space companies years ago. So hopefully it's in the genes. We'll see. My youngest daughter takes after me with the mechanical stuff. So hopefully she'll do well. Let's see what we got here. Not to collect. Oh, I tell you. Yeah, but your grandfather sounds like a cool guy, Matt. I mean, it sounded like he was, the guy that, and like you said, you weren't into it when he was alive, but it sounded like he would have been the guy to talk to and just sit there and BS, It would have been fun. That's it. All right, Maddie, take care, guy. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Have a great night. Talk to you later. Let's see like that. Yeah, Jess, we all want our kids to be better than we are as far as, living a better life and stuff like that. But you know what? I try and teach my kids everything I can. My oldest isn't into anything mechanical. She'd rather just, send it somewhere and pay a bill. And that's fine if you got the wherewithal. But my youngest, she'll tear into anything from a toaster to a clock radio, whatever. She loves tearing apart and building stuff. When she was younger, I got her an erector set and Legos and all that stuff. So it's nice having a kid that likes to tear things apart, So anyway, Vince, good night. Everyone who's leaving. You know what? It's been, oh my God, 50 minutes already, guys. I'm talking too much. All right, let me go. It's getting late. It's about 8:45. I got to check out some other guys' videos that are around here too, Barnyard and everybody else. So everyone have a safe night. Be safe. Be friendly. Be nice to people, right? Karma. I love karma. So anyway, I'm going to take off. Thank you all for joining me. And hopefully we'll see you soon. James, I'll be talking to you soon. I'll give you a ring, or if you want to give me a ring later on or tomorrow, whatever. I'll be up for a little while. Other than that, I'm going to take it and say goodnight all. So we'll see you guys. Be safe. Have a great night. Bye-bye.